was very difficult for me to explain to people what I did, and without listing, all of the companies that we owned. We needed to find a way to talk about our family of companies and our family of team members that allowed us to have a culture where people came and stayed for a really long time. And we just had a richness to our story, and we didn't know how to talk about it. Well, the Zimmerman Companies is actually a relatively new company within the family of companies that we have. So in 2016, 2017, we designed a management company to give an official title to all of the duties that we were performing, all of the ownership and the management for several other companies. So we own Olympic Indoor Tennis. At the time, we owned 4 different apartment communities, and we were just beginning to form Versa, which is a co-working firm. Really wanted to have a common language and a common name.
Yeah. Did that lack of story that united all the different businesses, did it have any impact internally, or were all the businesses just humming along in their own separate corners?
As I moved into the leadership of the business, of course, we were trying to launch a new business where we were trying to set the tone with a new team about how we wanted to operate. And I just didn't have the language to explain what we'd been doing for decades in these other companies for a new company.
Right. So tell me a little bit about the work we did together. What about the process?
You spoke with contractors or vendors that we used. You spoke with members and residents, and so it gave everybody in every corner of the organization an opportunity to be heard, and it got everyone super excited about talking about the project, about what we were trying to do, because they started to, instead of it just being, like air we were breathing, it really started to give it form and function. And then it, like I said, it just became really fun. We just had a lot of excitement doing it, and we didn't know what all those surveys were going to reveal to us. So there was like the big reveal. And we were very pleased, I remember to this day, some of the things that some of our vendors said about us. We knew that we had incredibly high retention inside of our organization, and that told us something, right? But we also had incredibly high retention with our vendors and our members. But we'd never asked them why. And so to hear that, really, it just gave us a lot of confidence that what we had been doing was working well, and that we had the right, we had the right team together all the way down the line, all the way into our, with our clients, and that the way that we wanted to do things was going to resonate with them.
You're just making decisions all day. Mm-hmm. So could you talk about how you use that as a decision-making filter, or how your team does?
Every decision, certainly every relational decision. So employment decision, client decision, vendor decision, any of those things, that just became so much more clear. And I remember you saying, you're going to have this filter now that you've done this work, and you just run everything through the filter and it's all going to be clear. And I was like, that can't be a thing. But it was. And then we do it. We use it to this day. Molly and I, who's my, she's my company president now, every time she and I talk about any of these kinds of stressors, that's exactly what we do. And it comes so clear so quickly. And then we strategize what we're going to do from there about solving the problem. And it takes a fraction of the time that it did a decade ago. Because that's how long we've been using it almost. And frankly, we haven't changed it, Haley. We, every year with our EOS project or process, we will we'll have our annual review and we look at our core values and we see, do any of these need to be adjusted? Does anything need to change? And they just don't. I mean, they absolutely have remained crystal clear for us. I was able to move through some of the most exciting times and then also some of the most transformational times that really impacted my teams, and do it gracefully and with confidence and with care, because I had the right communication tools. And I am so grateful for that. You taught me, frankly, that you have to communicate well with the people that work with you, because what we know is that people don't fear change, they fear loss. And so unless you make it clear, you can communicate clearly about what this change is going to mean for everyone and why the decision to make the change fits with our core values, then it's just, if you can't do that, it's a big scary thing for everyone. It's scary for the leadership, it's scary for the employees, and you just really can't get where you want to go.
If you were to kind of sum up, looking back over the last 7 years, which is amazing that it's been that long, what would you say the most important outcomes have been for you and for the business from doing this work?
I am a person that would trend towards ruinous empathy in my leadership, because I am highly relational, and so it was hard for me early on to make the decisions that I needed to make, especially when it came to people in my organization. When I could put the words to all of the ways that I felt we existed as an organization, then it made it I was much more confident, and it was much easier for me to have difficult conversations. This was transformative for me because it gave me the tools that I needed to be able to lead effectively through a large organization with lots of long-standing relationships and people that I cared about. What's been transformational for the company is it allows us to bring, new people into the organization and clearly share with them who we are, what our expectations are, what they can expect of us, how we're going to work together, how we're going to work with our clients. And so just the trust that it imbues between team members to be able to clearly understand and communicate the culture of the organization, and then to be able to live it, right? So we are in customer service business. So to be able to understand that on the inside of our organization, between us, we exist in a certain way, and that needs to be reflected out towards our customers in a certain way. And no one ever throws one another under the bus. There is none of that ever, right? That's not who we are. I just think that what it has done for team members, and therefore how it reflects to clients, has been transformational.
As you're looking back over these 7 years, is there anything about the work or working with Storyforge, or the results of our work that we haven't talked about that you think it's important for people to know?
It's just wonderful to have had this ongoing relationship with you and your company over all of these years. I've recommended you to everybody that I know. I don't know why everyone in the world doesn't hire you. I keep telling them because it has made such an incredible difference in who we are as a company. I can't imagine us being where we are today if we had not done this work with you. So I think that if you are a company that really is trying to understand what your culture is, and relationships are important to you, then finding the right partners in whatever it is that you're doing is critical, right? And so you've just been an amazing partner in this work all along the way, and you continue to be. And we know that we can call and you will help us whenever we need it. So, yeah, incredibly grateful for that. And I don't think that can be underestimated.